Hi, I'm Glenn and welcome to the fifth part of my series of videos on building my home studio. As you can see at the end of the last video, we got up to actually putting the plasterboard in the live room. So it was quite a job. Of course, you have to do very tight seals and airtight joins, if you like, to make it soundproof. And I made quite a lot of work for myself by putting the timber rafters in that room, because it meant that I had a lot of cutting to do and a lot of edges to fill in. So it was quite a bit of work that took quite a few months to actually get through. But once we started getting undercoat on the walls there, it really started to look like a room, and it was well worth the effort, even though it seemed to take forever. So after getting the undercoat on, there was of course a splash of colour went on the walls, and luckily for me, my partner used to work in the lighting industry, so she had some low voltage gallery lighting lying around in a box, so I was able to use that and give the room quite a nice atmospheric touch. It really has quite a warm mood in there. And after doing the lights, I could do some work in there in the dark, of course, so that meant on to the next phase, which was doing architraves and skirting boards, and also laying down a timber floating floor. At that point, the room was really live. It was like a shower block. It was very echoey, lots of reflections, so I needed to start doing the acoustic treatment. And here you can see I am assembling a base trap, which is a timber frame with fabric stretched across it, and then it's been packed out with about 4 inches of rock wool. And then we stand it up in the corner, just out off the wall a couple of inches, and just doing that had an immediate impact on the acoustics in that room. It was really hard to describe just how dramatic it was that putting one trap up like that could affect the room so much. So then I set about doing the next lot of acoustics, which was to build a Helmholtz style slot resonator across one wall of the room. Now this resonator again is made up of timber frames with stretched fabric filled with rock wool, but they're covered in timber slats. Now these slats vary in width, and also the distance between them varies, and that acts as a broadband low mid frequency filter, if you like. It sort of it takes out broad variety of low resonant frequencies, and again the room improved in acoustics dramatically when those went up. And if I don't mind saying myself, it looks quite good, so a lot of effort went into that, and it took a long time, but the end result is well worth it. So looking around my finished live room there, you can see there's some what looks like artworks on the wall. I've just got some tie-dyed pieces of material, stretched them across some timber frames and filled them with rock wool, and again these have some absorptive qualities in there and cut down the liveness of the room. They can be dismounted as well, so I've got the option of making the room as live or as dead as I want. Now I've got hold of some 3D software, 3D modelling software here, and this is what the studio layout looks like now. And you can see that's the original control room, but I decided that that was fairly much a first effort and I wanted to change it. And I discovered these websites, which have been an absolute goldmine, and I recommend anyone thinking of building a studio to visit these websites, because they are just a mountain of information. If I'd seen these websites before I started my studio, it would undoubtedly look a lot different and have been constructed a lot different to what it is today. So, having done that live room, I've decided I'm going to rebuild the control room so it has the correct acoustic properties in there, and will give me a much better representation of the sound when I'm doing mixes. So there you have it. That will be in the next video, so join me then. Thanks, bye.